For most of human history, there were no pharmacies, no pills, no prescriptions, no white laboratories, and yet, people still healed. They survived infections, they treated wounds, they soothed pain, they raised children, they grew old. So how did they do it? How did humans live for thousands of years without modern medicine? The answer is surprisingly simple. They looked down, at the ground beneath their feet. Because for most of our story on Earth, medicine wasn't something you bought. It wasn't inside a bottle. It didn't come with a label. It didn't have a price. It was something that grew. Leaves, roots, flowers, bark. Nature was the first doctor, and sometimes, it still is. If you were sick, you didn't drive to a store. You walked into the forest. If you were hurt, you didn't open a cabinet. You searched the fields. People knew the smell of plants. They knew their taste. They knew which leaf cooled the skin, which root calmed the stomach, which flower helped sleep. This knowledge wasn't written in books. It lived in memory, passed from mothers to daughters, from healers to children, from one generation to the next. A quiet science, slow, patient, observing nature for centuries. Today, we're going to talk about one of those forgotten plants, a plant that humans have trusted for more than 5,000 years, a plant so powerful that ancient civilizations believed it could protect life itself. And the strange part is, you probably walk past it every day without even noticing. It doesn't look rare. It doesn't look exotic. It doesn't look magical. It just sits there quietly. Thick leaves, soft green color, almost boring. But inside, it hides something extraordinary. Imagine this. You're living 4,000 years ago. No hospitals, no antibiotics, no emergency rooms, just earth, sky, and the small village around you. You're working outside under the sun, cutting wood, carrying stones, preparing food, and suddenly your skin tears open. The wound burns. It swells. It turns red. In those days, even a small infection could become dangerous. Fear spreads quickly because everyone has seen what happens when wounds don't heal. But instead of panic, someone older walks calmly into the field. An old woman, a healer, someone who has seen this many times before. She doesn't rush. She doesn't look worried. She simply kneels down and picks a thick green leaf. She breaks it open with her fingers. Inside, there's a clear, cool gel, almost like water, but thicker. She spreads it gently over your skin. The relief is immediate. The burning fades. The skin feels fresh and calm. By the next day, the swelling is smaller. Within a few days, the wound closes faster than expected. No infection, no scar, no miracle. Just a plant. A plant we still have today. It's called aloe vera. Yes, that simple plant sitting on balconies, windowsills, and forgotten corners of kitchens. The same plant most people think is just decoration. But for ancient Egyptians, aloe was sacred. They called it the plant of immortality. They placed it inside the tombs of pharaohs. Not as decoration, but as protection. As if this plant could guard life, even after death. Historical records say Cleopatra used aloe daily on her skin to keep it soft and healthy. Greek soldiers carried it during battles to treat cuts and burns instantly. Imagine warriors, thousands of years ago, stopping between fights, breaking a leaf, pressing the gel onto their wounds. No pharmacy, just nature. In India and China, healers used it for stomach pain, digestion problems, infections, and inflammation. Across continents, across cultures, across thousands of years, the same plant kept appearing. That's not a coincidence. That's experience. That's generations saying, this works, keep it. So what makes aloe so special? Inside those thick leaves is not just water. It's a living gel filled with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds. It contains molecules that fight bacteria, others that reduce swelling, others that help skin rebuild itself faster. It's like a tiny pharmacy built by nature, a small green laboratory designed by evolution. When you apply it to the skin, it cools immediately. It calms irritation. It helps burns heal faster. It protects damaged tissue. Even today, many people use it after sunburns or cuts. And for centuries, people also drank small amounts of aloe juice to soothe the stomach and support digestion. The plant created these compounds to protect itself from harsh sun, insects, and damage. And somehow, those same protections work for us too. It's almost as if nature prepared these solutions long before we even understood them. But here's the strange paradox. Today, we live in the most advanced medical era in history. We have technology, machines, laboratories, and thousands of synthetic products. And yet, many people forget these simple solutions. Instead of growing one plant at home, we buy expensive creams, plastic tubes, chemical gels, products with names we can't pronounce, all trying to imitate what one simple leaf already does perfectly. Isn't that strange? For thousands of years, humans trusted plants. Now we trust packaging. But the plant never disappeared. It's still here, still growing, still working, quiet, patient, waiting for us to remember. There's something beautiful about that. Plants don't advertise, they don't compete, they don't try to sell you anything, they simply exist and help if you pay attention. Sometimes I think modern life made us forget something important. We stopped seeing nature as a teacher. We started seeing it as decoration, something pretty to look at, something we water once a week and ignore. But what if the answers were always there, right outside your window, on your balcony, in your garden? What if healing isn't always complicated? What if sometimes it's simple, green, silent, alive? Maybe our ancestors weren't less intelligent than us. Maybe they were just closer to the earth, closer to observation, closer to patience. They watched how animals healed themselves. They tested leaves. They experimented slowly. And they remembered what worked. Aloe vera is just one example. One small reminder that nature has been solving problems far longer than we have. So the next time you see that thick green plant with heavy leaves, don't just see decoration. See 5,000 years of human history. See mothers treating their children. See travelers healing burns under the sun. See healers sharing knowledge by firelight. See generations trusting the same leaf, the same gel, the same quiet protection. Because the hidden power of plants was never really hidden, we just stopped noticing. And maybe it's time we started looking again. One plant, one story, every day. Welcome to the hidden power of plants.